Snax on. Snax on Sports, man. Back with another one. We're finna talk about these Golden State Warriors. I'm late with my little recap, like always. You know what I'm saying? Our season ended a week ago. Last Tuesday. So I'm finna just recap the whole year. You know what I mean? I ain't got no talking points or nothing like that. I mean, I do, but I ain't really going off that. I'm just gonna kind of just recap the whole year, different little, pointers and shit that I can think of. But yeah, nah, man. Disappointing year for us, man. For the Golden State Warriors, we got eliminated in the play-in tournament, play-in round, by the Sacramento Kings, who then got their ass eliminated by the New Orleans Pelicans. So them beams wasn't being lit for too long, you know what I'm saying? But so we both missed the playoffs. But I'm just man, I'm gonna kind of say some of the same stuff that I've said about the Warriors in the recent past. You know what I'm saying? In some episodes that I've done. And, I heard somebody say earlier today on, I was listening to either KNBR here locally in the Bay Area or 95.7 The Game, one of them. KNBR is better. 95.7 The Game just salacious and drama filled and just they just dramatic and what's the word, soap opera based. You know what I'm saying? Gossipy, chatty patties. You know what I'm saying? Especially that damn Matt Diamonds. He's an absolute turd of a human being. You know what I'm saying? Like, just he's a horrible motherfucker. But I heard somebody say today on one of those stations that I was listening to, I can't remember if it was a fan or probably was a fan calling in, and they said, dog, I mean, we supposed to ride this thing till the wheels fall off, man. Just ride it to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Meaning the championships might be over. So fucking what? Like, I would rather see Steph, Clay, and Dre, and Steve Kerr for that matter, but I'm just talking about the players, but Steve Kerr as well, but I'm just talking about the players. Steph, Clay, and Dre, all in their careers, having only played for this one franchise, the Golden State Warriors. Now, whether they all go out at the same time in the same year, that's, that's, I don't really care about that. It would be cool. It would be dope. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't mind that. Like if if Steph played another 3 years and Clay played like another 2, then retired, and Dre played another 4 or 5. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, just on really bad teams his last year or 2 years. Something like that. But whatever, I ain't really tripping off that. I would just rather see them all go out as Golden State Warriors. You know what I'm saying? If that's what they want to do, if they see fit to do that, and if Joe Lacob and the organization see fit to do that, which I think they do. But I'm saying, man, ride till the wheels fall off. Because so what if they don't win no more championships? I would rather see Steph, Clay, and Dre play another 2 or 3 years together and us be hovering around whether we're going to make the playoffs or not, rather than some fake, fabricated, not opinion, scenario of trading Clay or fucking Draymond Green in hopes of that somehow or another, and whoever, Kuminga or Wiggins or whatever, in hopes that somehow or another that you gonna be able to contend again around Steph and this. Like, bro, it once any one of them are gone, it's over, bro. It's over anyway. And it's not like they're gonna play another 6-7 years. It's gonna be over pretty soon anyway. They probably got another 2 to 3 years. You know what I'm saying? That's not a very long time. If you think about it, it is a long time. You know what I'm saying? 2 or 3 seasons, but it's not in the grand scheme of things, man. When you really, them 2 or 3 years will go by fast. You know what I'm saying? And so there's no quick fix, bro. There's no. That's why I don't like listening to 95.7 The Game, because that's all they do is fabricate and come up with these different scenarios and different, situations that haven't happened, most likely are not going to happen, and just talk so much shit about players and coaches in the core that have done so much winning for this franchise all of a sudden, just because the team is not where they once were. The past 2 years, like it's like when you think about it, it ain't even really been a long time. You would think the team would have been horrible for fucking 5 years already now. It's been 2 years since they won their last championship. They won the championship in 22. 23, which was last NBA season, they got to the second round and lost to the Lakers in 6 games. I mean, they were the defending champions. You would have liked to see them at least get to the Western Conference Finals, but that's this year. That's not. You were a top 8. You finished the season as a top 8 team. You were one of the final 8 teams playing. That's not. There's 30 teams in the league. That's not bad. If you top 8, that means you're one of the best teams in the league still. And then this year, the Warriors actually won more regular season games than they did last year. So last year they won 44 games. They were 44 and 38, I believe, if that's 80. Yeah. So, but anyway, they won 44 games. This year they won 44 games last year out of 82. Okay. So they were 44-36. And they were the 6th seed. So they avoided the play-in last year. Okay. This year they actually won more games. They won 2 more games than they did last year. So this year they won 46 games. So they were 46-36, and they were the 10th seed. So that tells you that overall the West was better on an overall standpoint than it was last year, because last year they won 2 less games but ended the regular season 4 seeds higher than this year, when they won 2 more games than they did last year but finished 4 seeds lower than what they did last year, which caused them to be in the play-in game and subject themselves to playing these 1-game elimination games where anything can happen. And that's exactly what happened. If that's a 7-game series, I know y'all can say, oh, well, you just said that because you a Warrior fan. Yeah, I believe in my team. You know what I'm saying? So, I wouldn't have picked them against the Nuggets, depending on how we were playing, but against the Kings, I feel like in a 7-game series, the Warriors would have still found a way to win the series. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have no reason to think otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Unless if it was a different team, okay, yeah. But against the Kings, we beat them in a 7-game series. But it was 1-game elimination, and we didn't win. So I wasn't surprised. They lost by 25? You know what I'm saying? The game really got out of hand like the last quarter and a half. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they got up by double digits in the first half, but then we cut it to 4 by halftime. And then early in the third, we cut it to 1 and had 2 chances to take the lead. I believe if we would have took the lead in that game officially, they would have won the game. But ultimately getting the lead to 1, when it felt like that whole game, it felt like the Kings were just up until the point where we cut the lead to 1. It felt like they just controlled the game. So it felt like we should have been down by 15 or 20 points. And we found a way to cut it to 1, and then had 2 opportunities to take the lead. I believe Clay missed a 3 or a shot. Might have been a 3. And I believe Wiggins missed a shot. It might have been somebody else, but I think it was Wiggins. You know what I'm saying? And we never took the lead. And after we had those 2 opportunities, they went down, hit a 3. We came back down, didn't do shit. They came back down and hit another 3. So it went from a 1-point lead to a 7-point lead just like that. And so that 7-point lead felt like it went from a 1-point lead to a 15, 20-point lead. You know what I'm saying? So, and from that point on, it was just no more fight in them. You know what I'm saying? But had it been a series, obviously, you flush that one and you come back and say, all right, now let's get down to business. You know what I'm saying? But 1 game, they did what they did. But I say that to say, you hear these motherfuckers on a radio 95.7 The Game talking about this is not a 50-win team. I don't see this being a 50-win team. Dude. They only won 4 less games than 50. They won 46, my nigga. And last year they only won 44. So actually they're going up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so actually they're improving in how many games they're winning in the last 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Not the year that they won the championship. The year they won the championship in 22, I believe they won like 53 or 54 games that year, something like that. But I mean, they talk like the team is so far away. Like they were 46-36. They ended the year 10 games over 500, and that last 30 games, like they were, uh, they had, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they had one of the top 3 records in the league, like the last quarter of the season. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, they play well because they play well coming down the stretch. You know what I'm saying? The reason why they were in the situation that they were in is because of how they played during the whole middle of the season for like them 40 games. Like the Warriors this year they just play like a team that, in particular, I'm talking about the core, Steph, Clay, and Dre. They just play like a team that has won 4 championships, and they're not as hungry as they once were. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they've been fed. I've said this before. They've been fed. Their stomachs are full. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, that's just how they play. I know they still want to win. You know what I'm saying? And I know they feel like they're a better team than what they showed. And a lot of people say, and I agree to some extent, but I don't agree with blaming Draymond. But I agree that because Draymond missed 22 games, I believe, due to suspensions. You know what I mean? Because I think he got suspended for 5 games, then came back, and then got suspended for 22 games. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 17 games, I believe. So it was 22 in total that he missed due to suspensions. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's around that number, like 22 or something like that. And so you got to imagine, out of those 22 games, obviously you can't say, and when you do these types of things, you're assuming that everything else stays the same. And obviously that's not going to be the case either, because when you change one thing, then everything else changes. You know what I'm saying? So, but just taking it for what it's worth and what it is, let's say what the Warriors record was this year, 46-36. Let's say if those 22 games that Dre missed due to suspension, I'm going to say out of those 22, he misses another 3 due to, he would have missed another 3 to maybe 5, maybe not that many, but probably about 3 due to load management and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? So out of them 22, I'm going to say a total of 19. I'm going to say he misses 3, that leaves 19 games. And those 19 games that he missed, if the Warriors just win another 5 to 7 of those, they didn't even have to win that much to even be in a favorable position. If they would have just had 2 more wins, they would have been in a 7-8 spot. Or if they would have just had one more win, they would have been in a favorable position. You know what I'm saying? But 2 more games would have put them in the 7-8 spot, possibly the 6th spot. You know what I'm saying? And so if Draymond is not suspended and we win just at least 5, we win 5 more games, because to me, they won 46 games like that. To me, this is a 50-win team. I'm not saying that they're a 60-something win team like early in the dynasty, but I believe this team is a 50-win team. You give them 4 more wins, they that's 50 and 32. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that they would have, had Draymond not been suspended, the Warriors would have probably been a 4, 5, or 6 seed this year. You know what I'm saying? Which keeps them out of the play-in, which obviously changes the outcome of the season. You know what I'm saying? So, but shoulda, woulda, couldas, ifs, ands, and buts. It is what it is. The season played out how it played out, and we ended out the season in the position that we was in because of, and also, and another thing is blown lead games. That's something that we was doing last year and this year. You know what I'm saying? It's just honest. Part of it is the way the game is played now, which is due to the Warriors. They the ones that then changed the game to what it is now, and how the league, and how teams play. So that got something to do with it, with the fact that everybody on the court now, not everybody is Steph Curry or Klay Thompson or Reggie Miller or Dame Lillard or Steve Kerr or Ray Allen or something like shooting the ball as snipers, or Larry Bird, but everybody can shoot and make a three. So you got 4 or 5 dudes out on the court that if you leave them open, they can stroke a three. And if they see 1 or 2 go in, it's easy for them to get hot. And it seems like everybody get hot against us. You know what I'm saying? To where it used to be in the 90s and early 2000s when I was coming up, it used to be that, you might have 1 or 2, you might have 1 or 2 shooters on the court. And then you would have your big man and then your 2 wing / low post players or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And could they hit a 3 every now and then or something too? Like, yeah, but not to the point of to where it's like, your threes and your, a lot of the 3s and the 4s wasn't shooting a whole bunch of 3s like that. You know what I'm saying? Small forwards and power forwards, the centers wasn't shooting 3s like that, big dog. You know what I'm saying? When I was coming up, you know what I'm saying? And then you start to, I'm not saying none of them did. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying for the most part, if you was a front court player, small forward, power forward, or center, for the most part, not definite or absolute, but for the most part, you know what I'm saying? You was either a slasher, or if you was a 3 or a 4, or you posted up. If you was a 4, with your back to the basket, if you was a 4 or a 5. You know what I'm saying? And so with that, and everybody able to shoot 3s, you're able to cut leads, quicker than, but you're able to cut leads faster than what you would be able to if the majority of everybody on the court was shooting like 2-pointers. You know what I'm saying? But also the Warriors, the thing about them is when they give up a lead, I mean, they get that motherfucker up. And I mean, they give it up quick, fast, and in a hurry. You know what I'm saying? They want you to have the lead quick after they done got up by 20, 25 points. They're like, here. Yeah, we don't even want it no more. We don't want the lead. You take it. You know what I'm saying? Because a team will make a shot or two, and then all of a sudden, what's leading to their shots is our turnovers. And then they come down and turn another turnover, and then another turn, another turn. And every turnover, they getting a layup or a three. And it's like, bro, we was just up by 19 points. And in 4 minutes, now they got a fucking 3-point lead. What the fuck happened? So that's another thing that contributed to a lot of our loss, and that comes with, like I said, a bit of arrogance, a bit of, they've always kind of done that. You know what I'm saying? But that kind of goes along with the, you know, they've been fed their stomachs full kind of thing because they get up. You know what I'm saying? By 15, 20, 25 points, and muscle memory is telling them that they the same team that they was in 16, 17, 18, and all that. So, you know what I'm saying? They get to doing that relaxing shit and not focusing because they done got up big, and they know if they let the other team dig into the lead a little bit, that all they got to do is go on one last little heater, and they go in it, because that's what the Warriors used to do. You know what I'm saying? You would think you would be coming back, and then all of a sudden they'll go on another crazy fucking run in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? And then in the third, that was their thing. Third quarters, they would come out in the third quarter and blitz your motherfucking ass. You think the game is close? That third quarter, you might go into the half with a 1-point lead. The opponent might go into the half with a 1-point lead. Nigga, that third quarter come within 5-6 minutes. Your ass down by 23. You know what I'm saying? Because Steph then went fucking bonkers. You know what I'm saying? Just straight bananas. Clay right there along with him, or Clay might have went bonkers. You know what I mean? A lot of times it was Clay going to fuck off, or they just slicing and dicing your ass up with that precise offense, that freedom of movement shit. Steph and Clay coming off them screens. Dre and Iggy facilitating the shit. You know what I'm saying? Then the years where we had KD, just stop it. Just stop it, bro. Like, that was the fucking Avengers, nigga. Just stop it, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, that championship DNA is still in there. So at times they'll have those games where they get up and they blowing the motherfucker out. But the thing is, they're not as good as they were, as they used to be. You know what I'm saying? It's just time is they getting a little older. Younger players is coming up, more athletic, this and that. You know what I'm saying? Their style of play, the league has caught up to now because everybody else do it too. You know what I mean? When the Warriors first came, bro, that shit was like, I just had my first son 2 years ago. I wish he was here around, man, so that he could have been able to witness that, because he gonna be, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna have this little nigga, you know, in tune with everything that's going on sports. He can root for whoever he root for. He gonna root for the Warriors and the Niners and the Giants. You know what I'm saying? That just is what it is. You feel me? But, you know, once he become of age, root for, you know. But as far as sports, he gonna be well versed in that. But because, man, it would have been dope to take him to the parades and all that. And actually, this little boy was born during the 2022 finals. That's the crazy shit about it. is that the day he was born, June 9th, was the off day in between games 3 and 4. So when we got admitted into the hospital, it was a Wednesday night. That was the night of game 3. That's the night that the Warriors went down 2-1. Okay? And so we get admitted. I'm watching the phone on my game. I'm watching the game on my phone. You know what I'm saying? While my wife is getting ready to go in and for induced labor. You know what I'm saying? Induced labor. We end up losing. Next day, my son is born. You know what I'm saying? And all I'm saying is, man, we got to get game 4. Got to get game 4. Get game 4. You know what I'm saying? And then that next day, which was a Friday, was game 4, and that's the game Steph went ape shit. You know what I'm saying? And single-handedly, not single-handedly, he had some help, but I'm saying he went, he had 43 or 44 points that game, and just hit all type of big shots in Boston. The energy was there the whole game. He was letting it be known to Boston, he was letting it be known to the Celtics players, to the Celtics fans. We winning this game tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? And then we finna win this series. Yeah. We got to get this. You know what I'm saying? And he went crazy. And so once we won game 4, I knew we was gonna win that series. I'm like, we finna get number 4, bro. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause they thought it was over for us. Everybody thought it was over after KD left. You know what I'm saying? It was never over, bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna. We helped him out. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank you for your contribution to the 2 championships that you helped us win, but you know what I'm saying? We could have got a player of lesser caliber and won those championships. So it was proven. 2022 is the championship that proved all of that. You know what I'm saying? All 2022 did was assure, because it was supposed to happen like that. It was assure that, they would have still won a championship or 2, even if KD never came. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they don't have 4, they only got 3. So maybe they got the 1 in 15, then they lost in 16, then they, maybe they come back. I personally think they would have came back at 17 and won it regardless anyway. They would have did exactly what the Spurs did to the Heat once they lost in 2013 when the Heat, because the Heat should have lost. When you say shoulda, you say, well, they didn't lose. So how can you say shoulda? But I'm saying with what the circumstances was, that was the year of the Ray Allen shot. You know what I'm saying? And everything that happened in that game 6. The Spurs just had to have one more thing go their way, and they would have won that game, which would have won that series. You know what I'm saying? In 2013. But instead, Manu Ginobili and Kawhi Leonard both missed 2 big free throws. Greg Popovich doesn't have Tim Duncan in the game to be able to secure, 2 offensive rebounds. The offensive rebound that Chris Bosh got to throw it out to Ray Allen to hit that shot, Tim Duncan wasn't even in the game. You know what I'm saying? If Tim Duncan is in the game, it's no guarantee that he grabs the rebound, but if he's in the game, obviously something different would have happened. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? Maybe he's able to, corral the rebound and you know what I mean? So if that happens, you know what I'm saying? There was also a shot that Tim Duncan missed, that his patented off the glass shot. And it was at the time that he missed it, it was it would have been a big bucket. You know what I'm saying? That would have went a long way in securing that victory. It was either that game or game 7 where he missed that shot. It might have been game 7. But my point is the fact that the Spurs they felt like they blew that finals. They felt like they left one, they gave that shit to the Heat. Like, we should have beat them. So that next year they came back and played with a vengeance, and they met up again in the finals, and the Spurs blew them off the floor. As Skip Bayless says, in a finals record margin. You know what I'm saying? Like, they won every game. They won the series in 5 games. You know what I'm saying? So they won it 4-1. The Heat only won 1 game, and that was the Heat with LeBron, Bosh, and, you know, D-Wade and all that. LeBron was cramping that series in San Antonio and all that foolishness. But they blew him out in that series by an average of, like, I think it was like 14 or 15 points, something like that. So to be a finals, an NBA finals series, and that's supposed to be the matchup for the 2 best teams in the league, you know, you would think it was going to be a little bit closer. But the Spurs doing what they did in 14 and avenging that loss to the same team in 2013 is exactly what I believe the Warriors would have did in 17 with or without Kevin Durant. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, bro. Because on the flip side, you got these motherfuckers that always like to say that once the Cavs beat the Warriors in 2016, that all of a sudden they knew that they couldn't beat LeBron again. So they're like, that was it. Like that, so, I mean, when there's no way that can be proven to be factual. So that can be your opinion. That's your opinion. Cool. My opinion is the Warriors would have came back that next year. You know what I'm saying? Because they were up 3-1. They had won 73 games that year. They was going to come back with a vengeance regardless. You know what I'm saying? So whether KD was there or not, I believe they would have won that they would have won that next one in 17. And then maybe they don't win again, you know, until 22. You know what I'm saying? Because that would have been a championship in 15, a championship in 17, and then a championship in 22. You know, which would have been 5 years in between 17 and 22. But the Spurs went 7 years in between their 4th and 5th, you know, championships, which was that 5th one was their last one. You know, they won their 4th in 2007. Oddly enough, against LeBron James. Swept them in the Cavaliers. But in 2007, that was their 4th one. And then it took him 7 years to win that last one. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they only had him 3, but they still would have been able to win. You know, they would have won another championship or 2. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And 2022 proved it. That proved it. 4 championships in total, and 2 without Kevin Durant. Just that one would have been enough. Just the one without him would have been enough. But 2 without him, 1 before and 1 after? Like, come on, man. That just shows right there. Like, just stop playing, bro. That shows that we were more of a service to him than he was to us. Period, point blank. Like, there's no other way to slice it. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's factual says that that's true. like I said, they won a championship before him and then won a championship after him, after he left. And nobody thought they were going to win another championship after he left. Okay? And not to mention that that's the only time that he has won championships. It's with us. And oddly enough, I believe since leaving the Golden State Warriors, he hasn't been past the second round in any year. Okay? Remember that Brooklyn Nets team? That was supposed to be the next great super team. They was predicting them, hey, just pencil them into the motherfucking finals. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and James Harden. You know what I'm saying? Pencil them in. You know what I'm saying? Steve Nash was the coach. That shit didn't work. Then he wanted to go to Phoenix. Teamed up with Devin Booker and Chris Paul. I think that's who they should have kept, was Chris Paul. And they would probably be better off. But you get rid of Chris Paul and then bring in Bradley Beal, I could have told you wasn't going to do shit. They getting ready to get swept by the Timberwolves, dog. I've been saying all year, listen, the Phoenix Suns ain't doing shit. All this shit about they don't have a fucking real point guard. Bradley Beal ain't no point guard. He a two guard, man. Devin Booker ain't no point guard. He a two guard. Can they play the role? You know what I'm saying? If that's what the team needs, yeah. Okay, they can play the role of it. They still gonna always convert back to what they really are, which is two guards. Now I know one might say, well, a lot of the point guards nowadays is point guards in position, but two guards in how they play because they shoot a lot and all that shit. But I just think that's how the point guard position is played now, and it's not anything new for a point guard to be a scoring point guard. You know what I'm saying? But Chris Paul is one that in his heyday, he was both. You know what I'm saying? He was both. He's always been a true quintessential point guard. You know what I'm saying? But always had the ability to like I said, in his heyday, shit, give your ass 30, 35, even 40 points if need be. When he was with when it was the New Orleans Hornets, you know what I'm saying? And when he was with the Clippers. You feel me? But that's who they should have kept. But I've been saying all year, the Phoenix Suns ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing. They're not gonna do a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So, and not only that, but when the Warriors won they last championship after he left, they beat the same team in the finals that swept him in the first round. And Kyrie was there and had Kevin Durant going out sad, big dog. Sad. Had KD going outside, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Jason Tatum locked him up. I'm talking about straight locked him up. I'm looking like Ron Artest. You know what I'm saying? KD is an efficient player, offensive player. He'll get you 35 points on 12 of 19 shooting. You know what I'm saying? And he'll do that on a regular damn basis. But that series, especially the first few games, they was locking his ass up. You know what I'm saying? He had like 17 points and shit on like 6 of 19 shooting and shit. Like, that's not KD numbers right there, fam. That's not, you know what I mean? He was turning the ball over, fumbling, looked like he forgot how to dribble, shoot. You know what I'm saying? They was up in him, and everybody talking about, Kevin, all they was doing was getting physical with him like they did in the basketball that I grew up watching. So that's how I know. I've always said that I'm taking that 96 Chicago Bulls team over any team ever, including my own Golden State Warriors of 2017, with Steph, with KD, with Draymond, with Clay. You know what I'm saying? That, that 2017 team is widely regarded as one of the top 5 teams of all time now. Okay? And it's been a lot of talk about, especially in that era when the Warriors was at the top, it was a lot of talk about that 96 team or either the 2016 team, which won 73 games, but more importantly, the 2017 team, because that was the team that actually won the championship. Who would win? Is it with that 17 Warriors team or that 96 Bulls team? Me as a Warriors fan, I always said, I'm taking the Bulls. I'm taking the 96 Bulls. I'm just taking them. But one, they got Michael Jordan. There's nothing else need to be said. This is the greatest basketball player of all time. You got Michael Jordan, your ass going to win. So, hey, that's just, why would I think, I've said this before. Why would I think any otherwise? The man ain't never been beat in the playoffs like that when he, you know what I mean? I'm not talking about the year when he came back in 95. Everybody know that wasn't, come on now, don't even do that. You know what I'm saying? That man came back with 17 games left in the regular season, fresh off playing baseball and shit. So stop it. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't count. I'm talking about full seasons once he got to the top and won a championship. I mean, once he got to the top and he had a full season to play, he won. He never lost. You know what I'm saying? So, why would I think any other? Why would I think, what reason do I have to believe that somebody will, I had seen that Warriors team lose this year before, 2016. I seen it. Now, obviously, I feel like the NBA helped the Cavs out in suspending Draymond, and people forget because they like to make excuses for other motherfuckers. I don't like to make excuses, but I'm only saying this because they bring this type of shit up for other players and teams and such and such, blah, blah, blah. Like, Steph Curry was not 100% in the 2016 playoffs. He got hurt in game 1 of round 1, okay? And missed the rest of that series. And then missed most of the second round against the Portland Trailblazers. So, he was not 100%, okay? And then towards the end of the series in 2016, Bogut and Iggy got banged up and wasn't 100%. So that's just something to throw out there. You know what I mean? Because they talking about how Steph Curry couldn't get past Kevin Love. Like Kevin Love was locking him up. Kevin Love wasn't locking him up. Steph Curry was hurt. He did not have his lateral movements. You know what I'm saying? because he was playing with an injury. So, but I'm saying that why was I saying that? I was saying that because the NBA gave that to I was saying that because I was saying I had seen them, you know what I'm saying, them look. Basically what I'm saying is this, because I was talking about Kevin Durant and how the defense that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and everybody else that guarded him, Marcus Smart, the defense that they played on Kevin Durant was the same type of defense that Kevin Durant would have had to play had he came up in the 90s and the 2000s, the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? So that tells me, I mean, I feel like KD would have been great in any era, but that tells me he may have had a little bit of issue with that, and had to, you know what I mean, or maybe it would have been one of them things to where he still got his numbers in the regular season and all that, and in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, they got up in him and shut his ass down, type shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm saying that to say, you're not going to tell me that Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Ron Harper, who were the perimeter defenders for that Bulls era, that last three-peat, but in particular, I'm talking about that 96 season because that's the team that went 72-10. You guys got to understand, Michael Jordan can be. We think about the great, Air Jordan, skying through the air, dunking, and all the clutch moments and the big shots. You know what I'm saying, that he hit and all that. Michael Jordan, you can make an argument that Michael Jordan is a top 5 defender of all time. You can make that argument. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know people can say, have this person or that person, this, that, blah, blah. What I'm saying is, there is an argument for him being a top 5 defender of all time. Just like Ben Wallace, just like a Bill Russell, just like a Tony Allen, Sidney Moncrief, Michael Cooper, Draymond Green, Dennis Rodman, Hakeem Olajuwon. You can make a case for all of those to be a top 5 defender of all time if you wanted to. Scottie Pippen, you know what I'm saying? But and so that leads to my next, Scottie Pippen. You can make a case that he's a top 5 defender of all time. You can make that case. Okay? And Ron Harper was one of the great defenders of that era as well. So I believe that Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant, who would have been guarded by those 3 guys, would have I believe Michael Jordan would have guarded Steph Curry. Dude, I'm sorry. That would have been, look how sometimes just, Steph Curry is, come on now, some of the best handles in league history. Ain't nobody been able to shoot off the dribble in ever. in league history like that man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying I've seen certain times and moments where, for whatever reason, he can't get open or can't get his shot or can't get around somebody, or you know what I mean? Like I'm saying Michael Jordan, like, it's one of the most ferocious defenders. I mean, this dude won the Defensive Player of the Year award. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm not saying that Michael Jordan would have been able to fully shut down Steph Curry with his type of shooting ability. But I am saying it would have been extremely hard. And I just think it would have been enough to disrupt, you know, some of that offense. I just believe it. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I believe Scottie Pippen would have been guarding Kevin Durant. Scottie Pippen would have got all up in that dude, man. You'd got all up in that skinny ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, Scottie Pippen would have been up in KD. Up in him. Okay? And then Ron Harper would have been guarding Klay Thompson. I'm sorry, they would have just took the ball from Klay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so I'm taking the 96 Bulls in that hypothetical series of 96 Bulls versus 2017 Golden State Warriors. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what I'm doing. And that's just who I'm taking. So, but I'm saying all that to say that you're an absolute joke if you still out here trying to argue that Kevin Durant saved the Warriors dynasty or the Warriors legacy or the like. There's no actual facts in that statement. I mean, there's only facts in the opposite. You know, so I know Isaiah Thomas tried to say that shit recently. I did my episode on that. I told y'all what that is. That's just a way because, like I said, the consensus among the basketball world is that Steph Curry has surpassed Isaiah Thomas as the second greatest point guard of all time. And now the conversation is who's the best point guard of all time out of Steph Curry and Magic Johnson. I still got Magic because it's about winning. Magic got 5. Steph got 4. It is what it is. You feel me? There's a few more reasons too, but that's the most important one to me. You feel me? And I was like, oh, well, it's not all about bullshit. It's all about winning with me. Who the best is who win. So, you know what I mean? All this, LeBron was the best player in the league for the past 15 years. Bullshit. He wasn't the best player all them years he didn't win the damn championship. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't win, you ain't the best. You feel me? You know, so it's just no way to at least with me, win an argument and say that Kevin Durant came over here and saved somebody or saved somebody's legacy or something like that. I just can't see it. You got to show me something that he did without the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, well, he was the best. He was never the best player. Steph Curry was always the best player. Like I've said before. Like I told y'all, I'm going to just say some of the same shit I've said before. Like I've said before, though, the Warriors winning that 2015 championship, they passed up a lot of teams that was ahead of them. And Steph Curry passed up a lot of players by winning that championship. Okay? That was unexpected. It was not, I remember everything that happened around that time. You know what I'm saying? I don't forget. See, because of what the Warriors ended up becoming, because the Warriors ended up becoming what they became, most people, we look back on it like this Warriors dynasty, and it was a dynasty. But what I'm saying is that this was players and a team that no one expected to become what they became. Steph Curry didn't come into the league with this expectation of being the best player in the league and winning a championship or multiple championships, like LeBron came into the league, or like KD came into the league, or like, you know what I'm saying, or even other players that were ahead of him in like rankings and stuff at that time, like a Chris Paul, or like a Russell Westbrook, or you know what I'm saying? Like, people forget Chris Paul was ahead of Steph Curry at one time. You know what I'm saying? Early in the 2010s. You know what I'm saying? And the Warriors getting that championship and doing what they did in 2015, that catapulted Steph as an individual player past a lot of those players. You know what I'm saying? And I forgot why I was saying that. But it just they didn't come into it like that. So the reason why I'm saying that is because when they won that championship, the Warriors really didn't need to win in another championship again, after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were, even after they won that one, they weren't even expected to win another one. Now, after they came out and started the year 24-0 and had a chance to get the all-time single season wins record, then everybody said, oh shit, these motherfuckers is on a mission to prove that shit wasn't a fluke, which they did. So but once they lost in the finals, you know what I'm saying, and then KD came, they still had already won a championship the year before, and they only lost in the NBA finals. in Game 7, in the last minute of the game. It wasn't like they all of a sudden just fell off the map. That's why I always had an issue about people saying, or anybody saying, whether it's fans or fans of LeBron or fans of basketball or sport TV personalities on in sports media or whatever. That's why I've always had an issue with motherfuckers saying, oh, well, you know what I'm saying, the Warriors knew they wasn't going, they couldn't beat LeBron again after they, like, how does that go together? How does, just because they lost in Game 7 in 2016, how does that relate to 2017 and 18 and 19? Like, it has no relation. That don't guarantee that all of a sudden LeBron was finna. That don't guarantee that. I could see, like I said, if they would have lost that series in 4 or 5 games or something like that. Even then, you still can't say that, but at least I could at least stomach that type of argument. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was up 3-1. And then circumstances and things happened that allowed for the Cavaliers to get back into the series. And once they got back into the series, anything can happen. And anything did happen. But it wasn't like they so I just never understood that. The Cavaliers didn't dominate. They actually didn't. They were never up in the series until they won the series. So what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? It was more of a, like I said, if you want to say it this way, I don't truly 100 believe, but I'm saying because of the circumstances that happened. But if you want to say it this way, it was more of a choke job, or, especially in Game 7, or more of the Warriors lost that series than the Cavaliers won. You know what I'm saying? I know that's just playing with words and semantics and all that, but you know what I'm saying? It's essentially the same thing, but that's essentially at least how I look at it. I don't give a fuck. And if you go back and look at how the series played out, a lot of people would probably agree with that. But if you don't, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Bronsexuals don't agree. You know what I'm saying? And Cavs fans probably don't agree. But yeah, to me, that series was more the Warriors lost it than the Cavaliers won. So, but KD, what my whole point in saying that is to say that they had already won a championship. So Kevin Durant, when you come over to the Warriors, you're the one that, for one, we wasn't even expected to win a championship, and we won a championship. So we ain't really got to win shit else. We good for the rest of our careers. We could be. You know what I'm saying? Because we won a championship. So we would have went down in history as at least something like the 2011 Dallas Mavericks, or the or who else? A team that had a good year, a solid year, and won a championship, and maybe didn't. They were still a good team, but maybe didn't win another championship again. But if you win a championship, you're cemented forever. You forever cemented. And they beat LeBron James to win the championship, the so-called GOAT. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, well, he didn't have Kyrie and Kevin Love, and this never. So, what the fuck that mean? like I said, the Warriors wasn't no super team Warriors yet. Steph Curry was just the regular, like Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. They were not. You guys forget, bro. They turned themselves into a super team, or they turned themselves into the players that none of them came into the league like with all these expectations of being these Hall of Fame players, and Steph would have had the most potential, but they thought Steph would have just been a player coming out of college. Yeah, he had that dope run that day, but still, for the NBA, they thought he was going to be somebody that was going to be like a fringe starter, but most likely like a bench player, somebody that come off the bench and just light it up for you. And just, you know what I'm saying? That's it. They didn't see what he became. Nobody seen that. Klay Thompson as well, and especially Draymond Green as well. Draymond Green is a very unique player. You know what I'm saying? There's never been a player like him in the league. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why they became a dynasty, because all the parts mesh and gel together perfectly, because they all do dope things but different things at the same time. So it just works. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you become a dynasty. It's like everything falling into place at the right time, at the right place, and it just created what it created. You know what I'm saying? And so something like that was meant to be. But I'm saying that because I'm saying it like that because Kevin Durant, like our even with that loss in 2016, the Warriors legacy for whatever it was at that time with that one championship was already cemented. Maybe not as a dynasty, but as a champion, yes. So they was good. They was already good. You know what I'm saying? You, Kevin Durant, are the one that need the championship. We don't necessarily need this motherfucker like that. Yeah, we want to win more, but we don't need it. You the one that got to win a championship, but they gonna call your ass a bum ass motherfucker that did all that shit and didn't win no championship. So because of that, yes, we will allow for you to come over here and in the finals put us on your back. You need the championship, so what you saying? You want to come over here because you already rode our coattail anyway, but you really want to ride the coattail and not lead the way and just have us just lead you right to a championship because we shown that we know how to do it? Nah, you need to be out here shooting the shots, making all the points, doing all the shit, carrying and making it easier for us. Because we definitely making it easier for you because you playing with two of the greatest shooters of all time and a team that's just structured right and know how to win. So all you got to do is just play your game. You ain't got to do much of nothing but play your game. So yeah, by all means, do your thing, big dog. Hey, take over, win the finals MVP. That's fine. We gonna get the credit for the championship anyway because we already won before you. So, and man, so that's my point. Everybody went, oh, Kevin Durant was the best player. Blah, blah, blah. For one, to me, he was not the best player. He was not the best player. Steph Curry was always the best player. He was allowed to look like he was the best player. Like I just said. You know what I mean? And especially in the finals because yeah, you the one need the championship. So you the one need to lead the way for us to get this motherfucker. We, you know what I'm saying? We just here to help you and assist you in what you doing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Um, so that's my whole thing with that. But as I close, man, in this, I say all that to say these last few years, man, it just feels like that same hunger isn't there. I understand that they still want to win and they kind of think that it's still there. But like I said, when you won so much and you've ate so much, like sometimes subconsciously you may not really realize that you think you playing hard, but you may not be playing as hard and going as hard as you you know originally think that you are. You know what I'm saying? You just like I said, that fourth championship, that championship without Kevin Durant, after Kevin Durant, to me, um, to me, kind of made them relax. You know what I'm saying? And say, okay, we good now. Yeah, we want to win more, but shit, we ain't got to do shit else now. That stamped it and cemented it. You know what I'm saying? It bookmarked KD, meaning a championship before him and after him. And Steph finally got that little punk ass finals MVP that he didn't need, you know what I'm saying, to prove nothing to me. I already knew he was who he was, but just for the sake of having it just to shut motherfuckers up. You know what I mean? Because like I've always said, for me growing up, watching the NBA, it was never about who won the finals MVP. It was about who won the championship. It was no talk about this finals MVP shit. About who won the finals MVP. Oh, you didn't win it? Oh, so you a bum. Like, that shit was not, that shit didn't become a thing until the finals MVP thing didn't become a thing until Kevin Durant came over here. Well, really, it kind of started when Andre Iguodala won the finals MVP. Okay. But then it went up a notch once Kevin Durant came over here, and then he won those two. Because then they're like, well, damn, Steph is the reason why this shit is happening. He's the best player, but in all three of their championships, he ain't won the finals MVP. So it became a talking point. But all the stats show, all the winning percentages and everything shows that Steph was the best player with KD or without KD. You know what I'm saying? It showed that the offense ran better, the team won more at a higher clip, all that when the defense was better, even though he wasn't, especially at that time, wasn't a great defender. You know what I'm saying? But somehow or another, the defense was still better with him on the court versus with him. Everything was better. You know what I'm saying? So, but, him getting that little finals MVP just shut motherfuckers up. But to me, because of all of that, I think that's the biggest reason for what would seem like a somewhat of a fall off that's been happening the past 2 years. They want to blame it on this, blame it on that, the injuries. For one, this past year, for the most part, they was healthy. Clay played 77 games. Okay. Steph had one or two, maybe little small knick-knack little situations that kept him out, you know what I mean? But he played, if I'm not mistaken, out of 82 games, he got into the 70s. And Draymond The only reason why he played 50 something games, and the only reason why he didn't probably play up until the 70s is because he was suspended. You know what I'm saying? So they was pretty solid on the injury standpoint, at least from the core. And GP2 has some. He seems to be a little injury prone, but he had some stints where he was out some extended periods of time. But yeah, nah. For the most part, so it wasn't had nothing to do with injuries and nothing like that. Last year it was a little more injuries. You know. Last year it was a few, but yeah, I'm just saying that, they want to blame it on a lot of things, man. But to me, I think that's the most important thing, because especially with and you can look at it from, to me, you can look at it from the turnovers. Steph Curry's always been a little loose with the ball, okay? And they've always had a certain level of turning the ball over. But it really seems like the last 2 to 3 years, it's been elementary turnovers, man. It's been grade school, AAU, shit, even lower than AAU type turnovers, man. Like, what the fuck is going on? What are we doing out here, my nigga? Like, just giving that motherfucker away. And to me, that's a lack of focus. That's a lack of care. And that's just a lack of like I said, just focus, man. Because, they know what they've accomplished, you know what I'm saying? And it's just the reason why, to me, Jordan was the greatest, because I know what I've accomplished, but I still want to win. Because it's hard to conjure it up after you won so much, man. You like, shit, man, ain't nobody finna, you know what I mean? Most of the motherfuckers that's gonna come in and out, and leave this league ain't gonna never accomplish even a small percentage of what we didn't accomplish. So they know they etched in history, man. And so I think that, like I said, subconsciously plays into their mind and their head. And they just haven't been. They just not as hungry as they once was, man. And then you can mix that in with the fact that they are getting a little older. You know what I mean? They are. This whole thing about them getting old and slower and all of that, it's overblown. The only thing with Clay is, yes, you can see that the injuries have robbed him a little bit of some of his quickness and agility, which affects what goes on with him defensively. But offensively, I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been a little less, he's always been somewhat inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? Like, even as a shooter sometimes. Sometimes Clay can be streaky. You know what I'm saying? But he's just had a lot of big moments. You know what I'm saying? But he has been a little bit more inconsistent than earlier in his career, but it's not as big of a drop-off as like people are trying to say. I'm sorry, it's just not. If you go overall, and I know sometimes numbers can be misleading, but I'm just saying the numbers are what the numbers are. If you go overall and look at his overall contribution and numbers and statistics over the past 2 years, It's not this big, huge fall off, man. It's just not. Last year, he led, not this past year, but the year before that, which was the year we were defending champions. He led the league in three-pointers made. You know what I'm saying? And shot at 40% again. You know what I'm saying? And this year was a little bit of a setback. He came off the bench a little bit, you know what I mean, for a little bit of a season when at that point when he was not playing well. You know what I'm saying? So his minutes dipped a little bit, but he still hovered around 30 minutes a game, if not a little bit. I think he played the most. You know what I'm saying? And he still averaged 18 points a game this year. Shooting percentage was down a little bit. I believe he averaged 39%, but that's good. That's just his bar is higher than that. You know what I'm saying? So it's overblown. Draymond, the same thing. You know, he probably lost maybe just a little bit, but he's still one of the top defenders in the league. You know what I'm saying? He still, when he's on the court, our defense is that much better. You know what I'm saying? And our defense is that much better. And he's still Draymond. And this year, he shot the ball better from three. You know what I'm saying? He was almost 40%. And I believe he overall had a better offensive year this year. You know what I'm saying? And he knew that he had to do that. And then Steph is still Steph. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that same want to is not there. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. Maybe after missing the playoffs this year in 2 consecutive disappointing years, maybe they come into next year with a little more fire, and we'll see how that plays out. But Steve Kerr, I love him as a coach. You know what I mean? Great coach, one of the greatest coaches of all time. And it's sad that these fans out here don't know what they have in him and talk so negatively about him. When it's like, it's the same coach that won 4 championships. This is the same coach y'all talking about that don't know shit. He's a bum, this and that, the rotations and all this shit. It's the same coach that won 4 championships. So, like, I just don't get it, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I do get it. What it is people show who they are. They show who they really are. People are with you, you know what I'm saying? When everything is going good and when you up. But when you down and things start to get a little rocky, people jump ship. You know what I'm saying? They get to blaming this motherfucker and blaming that motherfucker, and so that's how most human beings are. It sucks. It's sad, but that's the way most human beings are. They're structured to be that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that way. What that is, that means that shows a level of no loyalty. It's like you're not loyal. You're not loyal to your team, I'm not finna be like it's all good when we winning these championships and going to these parades and this and that. And then at the end, when it starts to look like it's coming to an end, now I'm gonna start criticizing and this and that and saying this motherfucker need to get fired, this motherfucker need to get traded, this and that, these motherfuckers is horrible and blah blah blah, and act like bringing in some other motherfucker is gonna all of a sudden get us back to winning championships. And you forget everything and then for one, y'all act like Steph did all this shit all on his own. Like, come on, man. Game 6 Clay. This man done had some big moments. This man has showed up in some moments when Steph Curry was kind of questionable. You know what I'm saying? Where you at, big dog? You know what I'm saying? But Clay was right there. Draymond Green as well. Ain't no championships without Draymond Green and that defense and that tenacity and all that. So we know Steph is the best player. He's been my favorite player. He is my favorite player. But he didn't do it all alone, all by himself. I'm sorry. It just didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And he's contributed to a lot of these losses and blown leads and the way the team has been mediocre the past 2 years. He's contributed to that with them elementary school ass turnovers. And like I said, this is my favorite player. I love Steph. Like, I'm talking about love him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just calling it how I see it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just calling it how I see it. But yeah, nah. So I say that to say, man, I got no problem with them running it into the ground as long as Joe Lacob wants to do that. These motherfuckers be on the radio talking like they know what Joe Lacob is thinking, and Joe Lacob doesn't want to blah blah. How you know? You don't know what the fuck Joe Lacob want to do. Joe Lacob is all you really got to do is listen and watch what the players, coaches, and front office say. Now, I know you got to take some of it with a grain of salt. They ain't going to tell you exactly what, but I'm saying if you really pay attention, they tell you what's going on. But then these motherfuckers get on the radio and want to, they want to have their own fucking, you know, and I know part of it is, you know, trying to rile up these fans that don't really know what's going on like that. You know what I mean? They trying to, engage in the talks and all that. All that's cool. I understand, man. But sometimes it go overboard, man. I know it's for a lot of it is for entertainment and talking points and all that. But a lot of time it goes overboard. That's all they do all day, every day is talk about what can you get for getting rid of Clay and trading him and if he want this much money, like they talking about other motherfuckers' money. Like he's not worth it. What is it to you? You're not paying him nothing. You're just a fucking fan. Even these media motherfuckers that talk, you know what I'm saying? You just fans, bro. Like he's not worth all of that. I wouldn't pay him all that, blah, blah, blah. It ain't your fucking money. Like Joe Lacob might feel like, bro, this motherfucker that made me a lot of motherfucking money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna pay him. And I wouldn't have no problem with that. Oh, well, the team, you gotta let the youngsters and blah, 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 blah. Dude, Jonathan Kuminga played, he improved a lot this year. He played a lot this year. You know what I'm saying? Especially before he had that little knee tendonitis towards the end of the year. Like, this man was averaging like 30 minutes a game. 30, I mean, come on now. And we're talking about the young players. So these motherfuckers must be just be talking about Moody. Because TJD, he played down the stretch too. And Pajinski been playing all year. You know what I mean? Since the beginning of the year. Because, oh, well, Moody's been here before Pajinski. So how is he, why don't Moody get the love like Pajinski? Y'all don't see what Pajinski do out there? For one, he's a better playmaker. He can actually play make for others. Okay. He plays just as good defense as Moody. And he does those. And on top of that, he's a great rebounder for a guard, and he takes charges. So he's doing all of the things that you need. He's a winning player. You can tell that his type of play contributes to winning because he's doing all of the scrappy things that you're supposed to do out there on the court with no type of, man, I don't want to be. I need to be shooting. I'm not saying that's what Moody's saying. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Moody's contribution to the team in winning is less than Podziemski. And you don't need a lot of time to show that, oh, well, Moody's been there for 3 years. It doesn't matter. Podziemski was able to show that just like that right off the top. It's the same thing with Brock Purdy. Okay? They didn't need hella fucking time. You can see it. If you see it and you know it when you see it. You know what I'm saying? You know the shit is the truth when you see it. You just gotta see it a few times just to be sure, like, okay, I know what the fuck I seen. Okay. Now, if this boy can do this over and over and over again, he that nigga type shit. So, and with Moody, his contribution to the team really is just shooting threes, which he's not a great 3-point shooter. He can get streaky sometime, but shooting threes, he's an okay defender, but nothing that would keep him on the court like Podziemski, who's taking charges and grabbing and Moody don't do no rebounding. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are like, y'all don't like, they don't like, rebounding is important. That's like, you know what I mean? You can't just be about shooting threes and just making shots and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So you can play great defense all you want, but if you don't end the defensive possession with a rebound and they get offensive rebound and just put it up and make it, then, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So Podziemski rebounds too. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why. All you got to do is watch the games. You'll see why he out there more than Moody. If you know the game and you watching, there's absolutely no reason why Moody, he deserves more of a chance. Man, this man been here for 3 years. Okay? Like, I don't know why y'all look at Moses Moody. He's a great, not great, he's a solid young player, and he can help and contribute to the team. I'm not saying that he can't. I'm saying that you guys have this high expectation of Moody. I don't know why. He's not an all-star player. Okay? He's just not that caliber player. He's a role player. That's what he is. Like, I don't need to see this man develop for 5, 6, 7 years to develop into some other shit that y'all, some imaginary fairy tale type player that y'all think he gonna. Bro, I've seen enough. I know the type of player that he is, bro. He's just a role player, bro. Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing wrong with that. And he can have a long career, make a lot of money as a role player. You know what I'm saying? So do that. Get that money, man. And you know what I'm saying? Milk that and get them motherfuckers for all you can. But Podziemski is showing himself that he's a role player too. But I'm saying he plays his role better. You know what I'm saying? And he was able to show it right off the bat. He ain't need 3 years to show it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, man, ride the wheels till they fall off, man, with Steph, Clay, and Dre and Steve Kerr. They didn't earn the right to do that. As long as that's what Joe Lacob want to do, and that's what the franchise want to do, and he cool with that. You know what I mean? Eventually, yeah, you got to turn the page. You know what I'm saying? But these next 2 or 3 years, and another thing is because as long as you got Steph Curry and he playing like that, and he playing like this, and this brand of basketball is still here, you gonna continue to sell out the motherfucking Chase Center. You know what I'm saying? So you got to milk Steph Curry for all you can, because once he gone, that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna dry up. So, man, milk this shit. Milk this shit. I don't give a fuck if they don't win no more championships. They've already won 4. Like, I don't understand, bro, like, why the fans think that they're just entitled to winning the championship every fucking year. You know what I'm saying? I done seen this team win 4 championships. I'm good. I want to win more. I don't never not want to win. You know what I'm saying? The playoffs going on right now, and we ain't in them and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that. But am I overly super like bent up about it this year? I'm not. I'm really not. You know what I'm saying? I've seen these motherfuckers win 4 times. They didn't gave me enough, brother. You know what I'm saying? A lot of time motherfuckers sit a whole motherfucking lifetime, man, and don't see their team win nothing. And I thought that's how we was gonna be with the Warriors forever. You know what I'm saying? I grew up, the Warriors wasn't nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? The Warriors wasn't nothing at all. You know? Never thought I was gonna see the Warriors become what they became. So that ain't yeah. Nah, that lady gave me 4 championships. I'm good. So that's my whole point, man. I'm not tripping. Klay Thompson, y'all talk all this, man. This is Klay Thompson we're talking about here. Come on, man. Y'all gonna stop talking about this man like that. I don't care if I'm gonna keep saying it. I don't care if Klay Thompson misses every shot that he takes for the rest of his career in a Warriors uniform. I don't give a damn. He's already earned it. Like, you can't take away what he's already done. I don't give a fuck. This man contributed to 4 championships. So it ain't nothing that he could do, no shot that he could take or anything that's gonna make me be like, oh, get him out of here. Or, you know, or what are you like? It's just never gonna happen. I'm for life endeared to Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry, and Steve Kerr, and Mark Jackson, and Joe Lacob, as a Warriors fan. You know what I'm saying? And Bob Myers and all that, you know what I mean? But, you know, and all of the players that came through and helped win championships. All the role players, all of them, man. The Iggy's and Sean Livingstons and the Andrew Bogut's, the David Lees, the Leandro Barbosas, the Festus Azelis, Maurice Spates, you know what I'm saying? You know, the KDs. KD, I got a little love-hate relation, but I still appreciate what he came over here and did to help us win 2 championships. So all the bullshit trolling and shit talking aside, you know, I appreciate that at least. Nick Young, you know, the Jordan Pools, and, you know, Niyama Balenciaga, you know what I'm saying? Whatever my nigga name is. The Otto Porters and Ian Clarks. You know what I mean? The Zaza Pachulias and the David Wests and all that, man. All of them, bro. All of them. And whoever else I'm missing. The GP2s, all of them, bro. Everybody that Harrison Barnes, all of the players that were on any one player that was on any one or more I forget my nigga Kevon Looney. Any one of these players that was on either just one or multiple championship teams, I got love for you for life. Because you contributed, you helped contribute to a championship. James Wiseman, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, them 3 got championship rings. I understand James Wiseman didn't play on the court that year, okay? But he still has a ring because he was on the team, on a roster of a team that won a championship. And to me, he still contributed because of even when he practiced. When he practiced against the team and help the team game plan for like whatever, bro. You know, just his training and his. I don't give a fuck. Nigga say, oh, nigga, you just, you know what I'm saying, blah, blah, you just making shit up there. No. If you was on the team, you did something to contribute. Even if it was just on the bench, clapping, just, you know what I mean, giving people words of encouragement. Now, I know he was a young player, so, oh, can he get that don't mean you can't give words of encouragement because you're a young player. And just tell one fucker, oh, man, good shit, team, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you own the team and you got a championship, you earned that. So I'm just saying, everybody that came through, man, that won championships with the Warriors, you know what I mean? These four chips, you dig? I fuck with everybody. So I'm saying, man, ride it till the wheels fall off, man. Ride it till the wheels fall off, bro. It's all good. I got no problem at all. I'd rather see that than some fake attempt at trying to do some type of quick fix, thinking that you gonna somehow or another sneak another championship. The only possible way to another championship is Steph, Clay, and Dre, and Steve Kerr. That's it. They gotta somehow they're getting old. Okay, well, they ain't gonna win no more championships no more. That's fine. I'm good with that. But let's see what happens next year, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, you never know. They won so much. I can't, Steph Curry said after they lost to Sacramento, we ain't done yet. You know, people can laugh at that and, this and that, but you never know. You never know, man. It still ain't been hella fucking years since they won their last championship. It's still in there. They just got to figure out a way to put it all together. You know what I'm saying? And as long as Draymond don't get suspended, they don't have no major injuries and nothing like that, next year just try to get to 50 wins. 50 wins is more than likely. You never know because you don't know how good or but 50 wins next year should put you somewhere in between 3 and 5. A 3 and 5 seed, you know what I'm saying, or 3 and 6 seed type shit. You know what I'm saying? And then once you get to the playoffs, see, that's the thing with me is that the Warriors they're built for the playoffs. They're a playoff team. They're a series team. So the one game elimination thing that's not a good scenario for them to be in. Because they're a team that figures you out as the series goes along. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did to Sacramento last year. I believe they started out they started off the series last year in the first round against the Kings. They were down 0-2. They were down 0-2, then came back to win 4 or 5 games to win the series. No. Yeah, they did 4 or 5. Yeah. 4 or 5, man. Because they got down 0-2. Then they came back and tied it up 2-2. Then they won game 5 and went up 3-2. And everybody thought going back home in game 6, they would get ready to close it out. And the Kings said, nah. The Kings won game 6 at Chase Center. And then game 7 is when Steph had that heroic 50-point game 7 and send their ass home and send us to the second round to play the Lakers. But they're a playoff team. So once they get to the playoffs, then they can figure it out from there. But they gotta what the Warriors gotta understand is that they can't be dilly-dallying around. Y'all gotta start and they did start the season off with their first 10 games. They did start it out this past year good. You know what I mean? After the first 9, they were 6-3. They should have beat Denver in that 9th game. But whatever. They got to come out, man. And if they want to get to 50 wins, they gotta understand when we get up in these games. I understand. I'm not saying that you ain't never gonna have a situation where you get up and shit happens and you blow a lead, but I'm saying it can't be 10 to 15 games where you had a 15 to 20 point lead somewhere in the second half of a game and you end up losing and shit. Just because it ain't just them just coming back. You're contributing to the comeback by continuously turning the ball over and just these goofy ass turnovers and shit. If you can avoid that, like I said, even with the Draymond suspension this year, if Draymond's suspension stayed the same, 22 games in 2 suspensions, and but out of the fucking 10 games that we blew, if we just win like half of those, 5 of those, you know what I'm saying? That would have gave us 51 wins, which would have put us like, what, a 3rd or 4th seed? You know what I'm saying? Or some shit like that, or a 4th or 5th seed. But, they just gotta keep that focus, man. And they can get 50 games, win 50 games, and then that'll set them up, at least 50 games, and that'll set them up to be able to do something in the playoffs, because then they avoid that play-in shit where it's one game and all of the other shit. You avoid that and you get to the playoffs and you're able to just focus on one team for 2 weeks in 4 to 7 games. You know what I'm saying? So, not saying they gonna win a championship or none of that, but to me, they were a better team this year than they should. They're a player. They're at least a playoff team. They just are. I know they're not in the playoffs. Some people say, "Oh, how you gonna just say?" You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying they're at least a playoff team. They're at least a playoff team. That's just what I feel. You know what I'm saying? And they just gotta have a little bit more attention to detail to be able to get 3 to 5 more wins. And that would have did the trick. That would have had them in the playoffs and not in the play-in. So, I don't know if that, do the trick as far as explaining my perspective on the Warriors, the Warriors 2023-2024 season, like the recap. But, I think just to kind of get this quick little recap, everything I said related to it being a recap, but if I can go, kind of player by player or whatever, Steph is still Steph. Klay Thompson is still that dude as far as a shooter. You know what I mean? Just may have to just rearrange, how he's used from here to there. Like when he got it going, he got it going like the old Klay. But on the nights where he's, he may not be, shooting as well, and his defense is his defense is affected by that or whatever, then there's either other ways to use him, or you know what I mean, let him sit down for a little while or something. Draymond is still, but Klay is still Klay. I'm not worried about that. Draymond is still Draymond. I think this year he learned that, okay, because like I said, the only thing that he done in the past year to 2 years that I felt like he went overboard is the Nurkic thing, because he didn't have to do that. But the Rudy Gobert thing, he was coming to the defense of his teammate. So I don't got a problem with that. The Sabonis stump, I didn't have a problem with that because that man grabbed his leg. And he grabbed his foot and his ankle as he was trying to run down the court, and he could have injured him. I had no problem with that. If you do some shit like that again, I want him to stump his ass again. I don't give a fuck. That's the only thing I didn't like about it is like, y'all don't see that this man grabbed this man's foot and y'all gonna only punish Draymond for stumping this man out after you could have injured me, but y'all don't see the fact that the reason he got stumped out is because he grabbed his foot. He would have never did that if he would have never grabbed his foot. Like, come on, man. You can't do that. So I had no problem with that. The Jordan Poole punch. It's not that I didn't have a problem with it. It's just that I understand those types of things happen. You know what I'm saying? And in the heat of the battle in competitive sports, at practice, you know, things between teammates and all that, like, that happens sometimes. It just happens. I know the video don't look good, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. It happens, bro. So like I said, I'm not saying it was cool that he did that. I'm just saying I never was going to chastise him about that just because, like, I understand that shit happens sometimes. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't have been talking shit. You know what I mean? Hey, that's all it is, my nigga. But yeah, that's that. And then so the Nurkic thing is the only one because it's like you swung around and swung your hand and arms up high, knowing that this man was right behind you and his head is right there, and straight knocked that man to the mother. It's like, bro, like, what is you like? Like I said, that nigga Skip Bayless said that was he did a spin around MMA move type shit. That's exactly what it was. But yeah, and then his explanation was he was talking about he sell calls and all this other shit. Like, bro, just, you know. So yeah. But other than that, yeah, Draymond, I feel like he learned his lesson with that and knows that, okay, I can't go overboard with going back and forth with the refs and being all demonstrative like that because they giving me texts now and I was getting thrown out of the game for it, but now they throw me out the game with ease. You know what I'm saying? And he's learning that he gotta just, yeah, so I think he'll be better with all that next year. Hopefully. If not, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's what comes with Draymond being Draymond. So it is what it is. We already won 4 championships, so I don't, whatever. But yeah, Kuminga really improved his, like, right after he was talking all that shit, talking about he you know, he can't be stopped and Kerr need to use him better and more and all that other shit. Like he had a bad game right after saying all that, and then after that one bad game, from that point on, all the way up until he had that little knee tendonitis towards the end of the year, he played well. He like to where, you know, a lot of nights he looked like the second best player after Steph. You know? So he just became a player that was, you know, some nights he was looking like young Kobe. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, so Kuminga improved this year a lot. Looney, his mobility and agility just looks like it's getting worse and worse every year. You know what I'm saying? He's still effective. He still can rebound, but his movement and shit, he's starting to just seem just more stiff, man. You know what I'm saying? And so, but he's another one that's people forget. He's only played for one team too. He's been with his rookie year was the Warriors' 2016 year when they won 73 games. That was Looney's rookie year. And he had early injuries in his career, so he didn't play a lot that year. But he got 3 rings. You know what I'm saying? He missed that first ring in 2015. But since then, yeah, he won 17, 18, and 22. So he got 3 rings. But and he gonna be back next year. But as far as the season goes, like that leads me to TJD. TJD kind of surpassed him this year because he's just more agile down there and he's just more active. You know what I'm saying? I like TJD. You know what I'm saying? Trace Jackson Davis, the son of Dale Davis, formerly of the Indiana Pacers, man. And I like Trace Jackson Davis. He got a little bit more mean in him and to him than what he looks. You know what I'm saying? He had that dunk over Wembanyama about a month ago when we played against the Spurs. That was nice. He's a good shot blocker, rebounder. He's just a good presence down there. You know what I'm saying? Kind of what we was looking for in Wiseman. Wiseman is like more naturally gifted athletically, but TJD is athletic too. But what was I gonna say? Yeah. So TJD, I love him. Going forward, and I'm looking to see how he improves over the summer, coming into his second year next year. Pods, I love Pods as well, man. Just because, like I said earlier, he does all of the he does all of the scrappy things out there. He called himself the guard version of Draymond Green, and I can kind of see that. It's not a precise comparison, but I can kind of see that. You know what I mean? Because he does all the scrappy things, and then he got a little game to him too. You know what I'm saying? He can improve his shot a little bit, but he can hit the 3. You know what I'm saying? And he got a little shot. You know what I mean? So, but that shooting is the easiest part of your game that you can improve when you get to the league. You know what I'm saying? So he'll improve on that. He's a good playmaker for others, and he plays some defense, and he rebounds, and he takes charges. He does all the winning stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I love Pajinski. Um, Chris Paul. He most likely is not going to be back with the team, but Chris Paul, I've gained way more respect for Chris Paul, man. He really helped out and making that second unit a solid unit to where it wasn't just what I'm saying, like no pushovers because Steph Curry wasn't on the court or whatever, but everything Chris Paul, I think he could have done a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? But there's only so much you could do with Steph Curry on the team. But shout out to Chris Paul. Hopefully we can have him back. It ain't likely, but hopefully we can. Moody. Moody's a solid young player, like I said earlier. He just don't be seeming to do nothing to like really improve his game every year and add to his game. It's just like the same every year when he comes back. He'll shoot them spot up threes. He's somewhat of a slasher every here and there. He'll try to get up in there, but you know, and he's like an okay defender, but he hasn't really like improved his game in 3 years. It's the same. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on him. You know what I mean? But like I said, I've seen enough. It is what it is. I don't need to see no more to know what he is. You know what I mean? He's a role player. Um, Who else, man? And then, we got the little youngsters, Quinones and Guy Santos. I like Guy Santos. You know, Quinones he got some heart to him. And he's a solid young player. But yeah, man, that's basically it. We'll see how it goes next year and what moves they make. Wiggins, you know, Wiggins as well. I haven't given up on Wiggins. It's just that um, he's become a little more inconsistent the past year to 2 years. You know what I'm saying? He definitely hasn't played as well as he played like that 2022 NBA playoffs run. He hasn't played that well since then. And he's had some games, but just on a consistent basis. Like that whole playoffs, he was just on. You know what I mean? Him and Looney was like madmen rebounding. But I'm not mad if everybody down on Wiggins and this and that. I'm not mad if we keep Wiggins. You know what I'm saying? He's still super athletic and all that. You know what I mean? It wasn't his best year, but you know what I mean? He's still a solid player. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah. That's basically it. You know what I mean? And like I said, Steve Kerr, these motherfuckers don't understand. Steve Kerr, to me, always does a great job. You know what I'm saying? He's not perfect, but ain't nobody perfect, so it don't even make no sense to say that. But I'm saying, yeah, sometimes he may make a move or two that has me kind of like, why you do that? Or, you know what I mean? But that's just in that moment. Or maybe I may be upset at something like right after a game, whether it's him or whether it's a player that did something stupid. But with Steve Kerr, he won 4 championships, bro. So I trust that by the time you win your 4th championship, my nigga, I think you know what the fuck you doing. You know what I'm saying? So I trust Steve Kerr that he's making the right decisions and pushing the right buttons. You know what I'm saying? So 4 championships tell me that. So that's just what that is. And Mike Dunleavy Jr., our rookie GM, general manager, he's the only one I kind of might be a little iffy on. You know what I'm saying? Might be a little iffy on this nigga. Just because, like, I don't know. I heard him do an interview the other day. I don't know if it was like the exit interview or whatever, but he sound like he trying to like have control, but he is like forced. I don't know, bro. It just hopefully he do some good shit. So he did draft Pajitsky. He drafted Trace Jackson Davis. He brought over Chris Paul and all that. So you know what I mean? I don't not have faith in him. It's just there's more to be seen, to be determined with Mike Dunleavy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's basically it. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna, finish enjoying watching the rest of the playoffs because I'm a basketball fan, not just a Warriors fan. So, just because the Warriors not in it, I'm still enjoying watching the playoffs. But Snax on Sports, I'm gone, man. I'll be back at y'all with another one. You know what I mean? We got the NFL draft coming up So football season getting kicked up here pretty soon within the next month or so. You know what I'm saying? And with training camp and all that. So we finna start getting some football talk in. But yeah, I'm gone, man. Snax on Sports. I'll be back. Snax on Sports. I'll be back. Get in.